Welcome back to the Ink and Imagination podcast. Today, we'll dive into the article, Book Review, My Sweet Orange Tree. There are books as gentle as a passing breeze, yet they leave behind profound emotions, quietly touching the heart. For me, My Sweet Orange Tree is one such book. It's not merely the story of Zézé's childhood. It is a journey of reflecting on love, growth, and the meaning of understanding. A tender and painful childhood story. My Sweet Orange Tree is one of those works that I cannot read without pausing several times to reflect, overwhelmed by memories of my own childhood. Author José Mauro de Vasconcelos doesn't just tell Zézé's story, he seems to sketch an image of all of us during our innocent years. It was a time when joy and sorrow often stood only a hair's breadth apart. Zézé is not just an ordinary boy, he is a symbol of children growing up in poverty, crushed by the lack of both material and emotional resources. His bright eyes, mischievous antics, and bold ideas touch a world where reality rarely offers much support. This little boy doesn't have luxurious toys or parents who cradle him in their arms every night, but he does have a rich imagination and a special friend, his sweet orange tree. I cannot help but feel deeply moved when I think about how Zézé treats his tree. To adults, it's merely a small tree in the yard, but to Zézé, it is a confidant, a soulmate to whom he can pour out all his feelings. In a life filled with scolding, beatings, and hardships, the tree is the only place where Zézé can find comfort and a sense of safety. There is something profoundly beautiful, yet heartbreakingly tragic here. A child finding love, not in people, but in a tree. It makes me wonder how many children in our world, like Zézé, are silently seeking solace in things that adults so often overlook. Love and understanding, the remedy for all wounds. Zézé is a mischievous child. This is undeniable, but his mischief is not inherent. It is an unconscious cry for help from a heart yearning for love. The beatings and scoldings only harden that small, tender heart further. What haunts me most in this story isn't the punishments themselves, but the look in Zézé's eyes when he is reprimanded. He doesn't cry much or scream, but in his eyes lies a profound pain that, I believe, would leave any parent deeply troubled. When Portuga enters Zézé's life, it marks the moment his heart begins to learn to love and trust again. Portuga is not just a friend, but also a figure of compassion and understanding. This made me realize that sometimes, all it takes is one person showing up at the right time, with love and patience, to change a child's life. The way Portuga listens to Zézé, encourages his dreams, and shields him from harm, stands as proof of the power of unconditional love. The story of Zézé and Portuga reminds me of myself and those around me. Perhaps at some point in life, we've all had our own Portuga, someone who came into our lives to soothe our wounds and show us that the world isn't just filled with pain. And if we can, we should strive to be a Portuga for someone else, because love is always the best remedy. A deep perspective on family and the pressures of life. One of the aspects that makes My Sweet Orange Tree so special is how the author portrays the adults in Zézé's family. They are not villains or caricatures of cruelty, but real people bearing the emotional scars of a harsh life. Zézé's father, though harsh, is himself a victim of poverty and helplessness. He loves his children, but doesn't know how to express that love except through punishment. When I read the scene where he holds Zézé close and cries after striking him, I couldn't hold back my tears. In that moment, I saw not just a regretful father, but a man confronting his own pain. Zézé's mother is another character who deeply moved me. She toils endlessly, carrying the weight of the entire family. At times, her exhaustion robs her of the gentleness her children need. Yet, through the pages, we can still sense her love for Zézé, even if it isn't always clearly expressed. Her quiet sacrifices remind me of countless mothers out there. Women who put their children's happiness above their own, yet sometimes struggle to communicate that love. Lessons on growth and maturity. Zézé is not merely a mischievous boy. He is a vivid testament to the human capacity to overcome pain and grow from loss. As I turned each page, I could see Zézé gradually changing. He didn't just learn how to love, but also how to forgive his parents, life, and even himself. This makes me wonder, do we all need a sweet orange tree in our lives? A place to shelter, grow, and reflect on who we are. The losses Zézé experiences, from Portuga's death to the felling of his beloved orange tree are not just emotional shocks, they are profound lessons. He comes to realize that life doesn't always unfold the way we wish, but what truly matters is holding on to the beautiful memories and continuing to move forward. Zeze teaches me that maturity doesn't stem from avoiding pain, but from confronting it and learning to live alongside it. A storytelling masterpiece rich in emotion, My Sweet Orange Tree captivates not only with its content, but also with José Mauro de Vasconcelos' storytelling. Every page brims with emotion, from joy and sorrow to regret. His writing is simple yet vivid, akin to an honest journal penned straight from the heart. This simplicity is what gives the story its strength, touching the reader's heart naturally, without force. The author never attempts to preach or impart lessons in the conventional sense. Instead, he lets the plot and emotions guide the way. Zeze's mischief, the magical friendship between him and the sweet orange tree, or the heartbreak of losing Portuga, all are portrayed with raw honesty and vitality, as though we are living alongside the characters. The sweet orange tree, small yet full of life, stands as a deeply symbolic image. It is not only Zeze's refuge, but also a representation of childhood and the simple, precious things life offers. When the tree is cut down, both Zeze and the reader feel an acute sense of loss. It is a moment that reminds us life is ever-changing, and even the most familiar and beloved things cannot always remain. What I admire most about Vasconcelos' writing is that he doesn't just tell a story, he evokes profound emotions in the reader. His words are like a melancholic melody, gentle yet powerful enough to reach the deepest corners of the soul. Reading My Sweet Orange Tree, I not only learned more about Zeze, but also about myself, about feelings long dormant, now awakened. As I closed the book, the story's resonance lingered. It doesn't fade away but stays in the mind, reminding us that life, no matter how harsh, always holds simple beauties for us to cherish. Sometimes, all it takes is a good story or a gentle breeze to bring peace to our hearts. Timeless meaning and enduring impact. My Sweet Orange Tree is far more than a simple childhood novel. It is a timeless work that offers profound human values to every generation. Though written in the 1960s, Zeze's story retains its relevance and emotional resonance in today's modern world. The book raises fundamental questions about how we treat children, the role of family in nurturing a child's soul, and how love can overcome adversity. The challenges Zeze faces: poverty, emotional deprivation, and the pressures imposed by adults are struggles that many children around the world still endure today. What makes My Sweet Orange Tree particularly special is its universal appeal. Children reading the book will empathize with Zeze, understanding that even in the most difficult circumstances, they are entitled to dream and hope. Adults, on the other hand, will find an opportunity to reflect on how they treat their own children, learning to listen and understand more deeply. I believe the book's success lies not just in its moving story, but in its powerful message of empathy. It is a reminder that everyone, whether child or adult, needs to be loved and cherished. Empathy and compassion are the bridges that help us overcome life's invisible barriers. My Sweet Orange Tree is not merely a book. It is a companion offering comfort and encouragement to its readers. For those who've experienced pain or loss, the story acts as a balm, teaching them to view life with greater kindness and tolerance. The tale of Zeze, the Sweet Orange Tree, and Portuga will continue to resonate in readers' hearts, like a gentle melody of love, understanding, and the simple beauties of life. This is why, no matter the era, My Sweet Orange Tree remains a book worth reading and reflecting upon. Conclusion: My Sweet Orange Tree is not just a book. It is a mirror, reflecting the deepest corners of our hearts. It reminded me of my own childhood, the simple joys, the sorrows that once felt insurmountable, and the people who walked into my life, leaving indelible marks on my soul. After finishing this book, I realized that while we cannot change the past, we can change the way we view it. Every pain carries its own meaning, and every life is worth living as long as we know how to love and share. To me, My Sweet Orange Tree is not just Zeze's story, but the story of all of us, of people seeking light amidst darkness, believing that love can heal every wound. Hope you enjoy this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support us. What about you? Have you read this book yet? What are your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments below.